A guy sold his first company at age 28 for $307 million, then immediately spent it all trying to build a rocket. This is either the smartest thing a human has ever done or the most insane. Possibly both. Let's go back, way back, before the rockets, before the electric cars, before the guy bought Twitter and renamed it X for reasons nobody fully understands. There was a kid in South Africa named Elon. Not a cool kid. Not a popular kid. A kid who, at age 12, taught himself to code, built a video game called Blastar, and sold it to a computer magazine for $500. He was 12. Most 12-year-olds are arguing about which Pokemon is the best. Elon was out here running a software business. His dad wasn't exactly the warm and fuzzy type. His parents divorced when he was young. He got bullied at school. Badly. One time a group of kids threw him down a staircase. So, yeah, complicated childhood. The kind that either breaks you or turns you into someone who builds rockets to escape the planet. For Elon, it was the second one. At 17, he packed his bags and moved to Canada, alone, with $2,000 and a dream. And also, no plan, no job, and no apartment. His first summer, cleaning boiler rooms at a lumber mill, shoveling, sweating, making $18 an hour. A future billionaire, covered in sawdust, wondering what went wrong. Nothing went wrong. This is just what the beginning looks like. He studied at university in Canada, then transferred to Penn, physics and economics, double degree, because sleeping is apparently overrated. Got into Stanford's PhD program, packed his bags again, showed up, stayed for 2 days, quit. 2 days. His reason? The internet was happening right now, and he didn't want to spend 5 years writing a thesis while the biggest economic revolution in human history was going on outside his window. Honestly? Fair. The year is 1995. Google doesn't exist yet. Facebook won't exist for another 9 years. Most people think the internet is just a fancy way to send emails. Elon and his brother Kimball rent a tiny office in Palo Alto, California. One computer between the two of them. They code during the day. At night, they sleep on the office couch. No apartment. Too expensive. Shower? The YMCA down the street. $5 a visit. Their big idea? Put local business listings on the internet. City guides, maps, restaurant searches. Simple stuff that we now do on our phones without thinking twice. In 1995, this was revolutionary. They went to local newspapers, the people who were printing city guides on paper, and said, "Hey, let us put your stuff online. We'll charge you for it." The newspapers said, "Why would we pay for that?" Elon said, "Because in 10 years, nobody's going to read newspapers anymore." The newspapers said, "That's ridiculous." Elon said, "Just trust me." Spoiler, the newspapers eventually did not trust him enough. But they did pay him. The New York Times, Knight Ridder, Hearst, big names, real money. The company, called Zip2, started growing fast. Then the investors came in, brought in a real CEO. Professional, experienced, wore nicer suits than Elon. Elon got pushed out of his own top job. He became a technical guy, a side character, in his own company. He hated every second of it. But he stayed and kept building. In 1999, a big tech company called Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million in cash. Elon's cut? $22 million. He was 27 years old. He'd been sleeping on a couch 6 years earlier. Most people, normal people, would stop here, buy a house, take a vacation, call their mom and say, "Mom, we made it. It worked. I'm okay." Elon Musk looked at $22 million and thought, "This is not enough. I need to build a bank now." The dot-com bubble is going absolutely insane. Everyone with a laptop and a domain name is a millionaire on paper. Investors are throwing money at anything with .com at the end. Someone could have registered peanutbutter.com and raised $50 million. People were not being rational. Into this madness walks Elon, who puts $10 million of his own money, almost half of everything he'd made from Zip2, into a new idea. An online bank. Not just a website, a real bank. With real accounts, real deposits, real licenses that you could use entirely through the internet. This sounds normal today. In 1999, it sounded insane. Putting your money on the internet? Might as well put your money in a volcano. But Elon's pitch was simple. Banks are slow, annoying, and make you fill out 17 forms just to wire someone $20. What if it was as easy as sending an email? He called it X.com because he really likes the letter X. We don't question this. X.com grew fast. But here's where it gets interesting. A few streets away, literally the same neighborhood, a different group of founders were building almost exactly the same thing. Their company was called Confinity. Two companies, same idea, same city, same moment. They merged. The combined company would eventually become PayPal. But the merger was messy. Two teams who both thought they were right about everything, suddenly forced to share one office kitchen. Guess who the board decided to push out? Yes, Elon. Again. They called him while he was on his honeymoon. His literal honeymoon. While he was supposed to be relaxing on a beach somewhere. They said, "Hi, Elon, we replaced you as CEO." He said, "I'm on my honeymoon." They said, "We know. Congrats on the wedding, by the way." Out. Gone. From his own company. Again. This is now two startups where Elon built something, got kicked out of the top seat, and had to watch someone else run it. A reasonable person might think, maybe the universe is sending me a message. Elon Musk is not a reasonable person. July 2002. eBay, the online auction site where people sell old furniture and weird collectibles, had a problem. People kept buying things on eBay and then paying with PayPal, like all the time. PayPal had basically become the unofficial payment system of the internet. eBay had their own payment system. It was called BillPoint. Nobody used BillPoint. Everyone used PayPal. eBay. This is embarrassing. eBay. We should buy PayPal. PayPal. How much? eBay. $1.5 billion. PayPal. Okay, yeah, that works. $1.5 billion. For a company that had almost been strangled in its crib multiple times. For a product that the founders kept fighting over. For an idea that people called crazy in 1999. Elon's share of PayPal, about 11.7%. His payout, roughly $165 million. $165 million in a single deal. To put that in perspective, if you spent $10,000 every single day, it would take you 45 years to spend $165 million. He went from sleeping on a YMCA couch in 1995 to having more money than most people could ever count in the year 2002. So, what did a 31-year-old do with $165 million? He called a rocket scientist. Not joking. On the plane home from the PayPal deal, he started reading about Mars, about why humans hadn't gone further into space, about why rockets still cost as much as small countries. He thought, what if you could make rockets cheaper? Like, way cheaper? What if one company, one determined, slightly unhinged company, could figure out how to reuse rockets instead of throwing them in the ocean? Most people. I have $165 million. I'm going to buy an island. Elon Musk. I have $165 million. I'm going to build a spaceship company. He started SpaceX, then Tesla, at the same time. Because why build one impossible company when you can build two? The part that's stuff that doesn't make it into the highlight reel. Between Zip2 and PayPal, Elon was nearly broke, multiple times. No salary for months. Rent was a problem. The YMCA shower was not a quirky choice. It was a necessity. Getting pushed out of leadership twice was not some fun plot twist. It was genuinely humiliating. He'd built these things from scratch, poured his life into them, and watched other people get credit for running them. And even after the $165 million? By 2008, SpaceX had failed 3 rocket launches in a row. Tesla was running out of money. The 2008 financial crisis was destroying everything. Elon split his last personal funds, literally his last money, between SpaceX and Tesla to keep both alive. He told friends he was sleeping on friends' couches again. A man who had sold a company for $165 million, back to couch surfing.
because he'd put literally everything back on the table. SpaceX's fourth rocket launch, funded by those last scraped-together dollars, was a success. Tesla survived. SpaceX survived. Elon survived. But it was close. Much closer than the legend suggests. The people who worked with him during those years, they don't describe it as fun. Long hours, high pressure, very little patience for excuses. Some people thrived. Others burned out completely. The money was real. The success was real. So was the cost. Here's the simple version of everything we just watched. Elon Musk had money. He spent it to make more money. Then spent that to make even more money. Then spent that trying to get to Mars. He never treated any amount as enough. He never stopped. He never coasted. Every exit was immediately a new entrance. Is that admirable? Yes. Is that exhausting? Also yes. Is that something you should copy exactly? Probably not. Should you at least think about what you're treating as your finish line? Maybe. The guy built his first fortune not because he was the smartest person in the room, but because he was the least willing to stop. Whether that's inspiring or terrifying probably depends on how much sleep you got last night. I could either watch it happen
Or be a part of it. Elon Musk, explaining why he lasted 2 days at Stanford. Some people watch history. Some people make it. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, watching YouTube videos about it. And honestly, that's fine too.